Hey my lovelies, I hope you're all safe and well. So one of the questions I've been getting asked loads is who are my main guides that work with me when I do a stage night or stage show of mediumship. So for anybody that has come to a demonstration of mediumship at a theatre or one of my more sort of bigger nights or in general, you will know that I'm working with a guide at the moment who I do talk about quite a lot in my show, called Sweary Mary. And she is from the Titanic era, and she's been with me for a while now, you know, and she kind of is a cross between Joan Rivers mixed with Lily Savage in terms of her characteristics and her energy. And she's from the Titanic era. She was kind of in the more high up rankings. She's a fuller lady, a plump little lady. Like I say, swears like a trooper, but brings forward so much love, so much evidence, and so much mischief with my nights with spirit. She first came into my awareness. I'd been meditating for a while, and I'd been doing, lots of sort of centers and a couple of little spiritual churches. And I always felt like my nights had to be done a different way. My serving with spirit had to be done a different way. And Mary was coming through in meditations to me quite a lot, and she sort of was really kind of fine-tuning my confidence levels. And she sort of said, come on, you know, if you want to sort of get anywhere with this stuff, be brave enough to be your own medium, be brave enough to do things your own way. And that's the thing, I'd always kind of been trained in circle and different things, and had a real awareness being drummed into me that, you know, code of conduct, there are certain things you can and can't do. And, you know, in sort of spiritual centers and churches, swearing is a big no-go, you know, being a bit rude and a little bit sort of mischievous. Those things are a little bit frowned upon. You have to be very careful that you don't insult and offend. And she said, those are not your arenas, those are not your spaces anymore. They've been great, they've been beautiful, and I would never slag off anybody sort of that works mediumistically in those settings, because I know some beautiful mediums that work fabulously in those ways. But Mary was like, these are not for you anymore. So what was really interesting with the journey with Mary is I had a friend, a fantastic medium in her own right, and psychic artist. Big shout out to Deb's Tied Up. And she actually drew a portrait of Mary for me. And, you know, her pictation is a little bit more gentle, I suppose, than how she actually looks, but the energy definitely is the same. And, you know, she's like, this spirit guide is coming in to really guide you, to really kind of kick your ass and gear shift you up to the next level of your ascension. And from that sort of time that Mary's been in my world, you know, I've done lots of independent nights at village halls, community centres, and, you know, getting into bigger comfortable arenas, quite a few pubs and everything, but also into intimate theatres. And, you know, she's allowed me the freedom that it's okay for me to serve and work with spirit, and I can swear, I can be a bit playful, I can be a bit risky, if that's what the essence and the character of the spirit that I'm linking with was like. And there's a realism, you know, most of the time when you speak to people on the earth, they know people that have lost loved ones that did swear like a trooper or whatever. And it's always been hard sometimes at like spiritual centers and churches when you're having to describe a person, and, you know, you're not always allowed to sort of use the dialogue that you really want to, you know. So Sweary Mary has almost really broken quite a few taboos. And the feedback from some of my shows, so many people have said to me, we were so skeptical of mediumship, we didn't think it was really a thing, but thank you for not just providing us with amazing evidence via, obviously, Mary and spirit in general, but thank you for keeping it real. Because, you know, I've had so many people in the audience say to me afterwards, my dad or my mum or my best friend who's now in spirit, they did swear like a trooper. They were a little bit rude, they were a little bit coarse around the edges, you know. But it makes it more real. I mean, it is real, of course, anyway, but I think it brings about that intimacy with spirit, you know, when you're getting that real validation. So for those people that have kind of seen me at a theatre or in person on my shows, you'll know the kind of stuff that happens that we get up to. For anyone that's yet to discover it, pop over to my website, purchase some tickets for one of my nights, and yeah, see Sweary Mary in action. But even though she has that kind of characteristic, she also has a lot of heart. She reminds me a little bit of like a cream egg. She's got that hard exterior, but she's got that really soft inner. And I think that's how her life was. I think she had to be quite guarded, quite protected in her stance, in herself. But actually she's a softie. So she comes in with real love. And you know, I've had some amazing messages where we've had to have some real delicate energy, and she's been kind, she's been caring. So she's not nasty, but she will say things as she is. She can be a bit bitchy, she can be a little bit sassy, she can be a bit playful, but when she needs to have those moments of real heart chakra energy, she provides that as well. I always remember I did a show recently actually in Chippenham at the West Connect, what was it called? I can't remember what it's called now. The place in Chippenham where I did the event with Thomas. I can't remember what it's called. It's completely gone from my head. West Connect? No, that's not it, is it? How weird. I can't remember the place. Sorry, guys. Let me have a look in my diary. I've got my diary to hand. Where is it we went to? That's going to bug me. Yatton, sorry, Yatton Kennel. I don't know where I was getting West Kennet Borough from. No, that's something completely different. I don't think I want to do a demo in there. Yatton Kennel Village Hall. Sorry, I remember now, guys. Oh, a senior moment. But yeah, she brought so much love and respect and comfort into. There was a lady on the front row, and her son had passed over, and he was only in his sort of like, I think he was about sort of mid-20s. When he passed, and I felt like he'd taken his own life. I felt like he'd been hung because I got this immense pressure around my throat, and it actually turned out that he'd been murdered and he'd been strangled. So obviously the energy was there definitely, but I misunderstood what I was being seen. But Mary handled that connection with so much respect and so much love, because it was such a delicate message. So she can be very sort of, you know, caring, but she does have that sassy, playful side. And if someone's a bit sassy and playful in the audience, or of course the person that we're linking with in spirit coming in, if they're a bit sassy and playful, then she does sort of like use that to her advantage. But she's been with me a long time. She never works with me in my private readings. I have a different person, a different spirit guide for that. That's a gentleman called Albert. But Sweary Mary is the person that works with me in stage platform mediumship. And that's where my sort of mediumship journey has been going for quite a long time. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of Sweary Mary if you follow me and if you come to my shows. So I have done some chat GPs throughout this video of what I feel definitely she looks like and how she comes through to me, and to give you a bit of a teaser of what we're dealing with when I'm on stage. So yeah, anyway, gonna leave that with you, and I hope that answers the question around Sweary Mary. Take care, bye for now.